All right, Josh. As always, let's give them a couple seconds. I say minutes, and then I wind up giving them like 15 seconds. Let me just stop lying to people, Josh. Give them a few seconds.
Right.
But they'll come. They'll come. They can't get enough, Josh.
In the meantime, it is very nice.
I mean, man, the shade just came out. Like if it was like this, I would have had it on the fucking, at the
Right.
courts. Like,
Only
put
thing
it
is
on.
like at any moment,
Yeah, that's
that thing can change.
yeah, yeah.
That thing could change,
That
man.
son be back at it like a crack addict in the
In the
80s.
'80s,
All right.
thing could change faster than motives during the civil rights movement.
On that note, if
Yikes.
y'all see this and y'all see that, and we're right around man, that can only mean one thing. That's right. Dun, 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 dun. We're back with lunch break news. Dumb Lunch Break Boys is the one, the only, the Pharaoh Live. To my right, a nickname cannot contain this monstrosity of a man. It's Josh. What's going on, Josh? How you doing, man?
We're chilling, having a great day.
Word up.
Work's not that crazy.
I hear that.
So let's get into it.
Josh, I keep working on these intros for you,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because I have mine, right?
Mm-hmm.
The one, the only,
Mm-hmm.
the Pharaoh Live. It just kind of rolls. It just came to me one day,
It
Josh,
does.
and
It
I was like,
does.
I'm gonna stick to it. I keep trying to figure out how to throw the Josh out there. Was today all right? Was that cool? Did I give you an okay intro?
That was good.
Okay, all
It's
right,
simple,
okay.
4-letter word.
You know what I mean?
Great with me,
All right, let's go. Let's get into it, Josh. Real quick, not on the breakdown, but I am a little bit of a space nerd, Josh. I do
Same,
like
same.
the celestial events. So I just want to touch real quick. There is what is typically the easiest seen meteor shower is coming tonight into early morning tomorrow. Go ahead if you guys are outside of the city. Honestly, most cities are going to be able to see it, even though it is going to be close to a full moon tonight. It's going to be a bright moon, but you should still be able to see about a dozen meteors an hour. And when I say, I don't mean like the little streaks. This meteor shower is known for the big booms coming down on Earth. So go ahead, guys, make sure when that sun goes down around like 10 p.m., 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tonight, take your ass outside. Look up, baby. It's gonna be rain and sunshine.
I'll
It's
definitely,
gonna be cool. It's gonna be cool.
I'll be
I'm
outside,
into shit like that, Josh. I don't know if you are, but that's my jam,
100%.
man. That's my jam.
I'll be outside with some treats.
I was gonna say I'm a nerd low key, but it's really not that low
It's
key,
not
Josh.
that
People
low.
people usually figure that out within about 30 seconds.
Yeah.
They're like, okay, whatever, Josh. All right, we are going to go into some topics that we mentioned yesterday. But if you guys were there yesterday, it was hot. I got into it. Josh got into it. The watchers of said lunch break news got into it with us. A lot happened, Josh. We're going to go over some of the details now. One, UFC has signed a TV deal worth 7.7 billion. That's not Millie, Josh, with an M. That is Billy with a B. Do you hear what I'm saying, Josh?
Absolutely.
$7.7 billion TV deal with Paramount. I didn't see it fucking coming. All the rumors said that they were going to do a split between Netflix and ESPN, which made sense, right? Netflix is starting to get into the combat sports game. We saw them start with the Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul debauchery of a fight that had, I think, over 50 million viewers. I want to say it was over 100 million worldwide viewers, some crazy numbers. It crashed Netflix, but it was their first time doing a live event like that. It looked like they were going to keep trying. They also did the Amanda Serrano, Katie Taylor trilogy on there, which was a decent fight. It was a nice card. They did the all women's boxing. So it looked like they were trying to get into combat sports. And then ESPN, of course, which has been the home of UFC for about 7 years now, Josh, right? We thought they were going to re-sign some type of split deal between them, maybe give Netflix 3 to 4 pay-per-views a year and then keep everything else on ESPN. No, took a left turn. Paramount, very shortly after their merger with Skydance. Skydance, of course, known for producing many of the Mission Impossible movies, the most recent Top Gun Maverick, the Jack Reacher movie, the Old Guard 2, Spellbound, and the more recent Terminator movies. So they are a well-known company as well. Even if you don't recognize their name, you recognize their brands and their products, right? So they merged with Paramount. What do they say? They say, we need content. That is the only way we are going to compete as, what are they? They're a content streaming network. right? So they already have a lot of the old school reality competition shows that we all know and love, right? We're talking Survivor, we're talking Big Brother, shit like that, right? The Amazing Race, things like that, right? Paramount also has a decent amount of original content. They have Mobland, which is one of their biggest right now. They have the King of Tulsa. They have a lot of original content, but they said they need more to keep competing with the Netflixes, the Amazons, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I don't think anything, as far as sports goes, they do have Champion League soccer, not that big on this side of the pond, as the British say, Josh. I'm not sure if you caught that UK reference this side of the pond.
I like how you did that.
Smooth. Thank you. I had to stop it to my own horn. But they do have the Champions League soccer. Now they are going to get the leader of combat sports, in my opinion, by the numbers, UFC. Cannot wait to see what that looks like. And to the grin of every combat sports fan on earth, the pay-per-view model is damn near dead when it comes to MMA. Gosh, for $8 or $13, you will get we're talking 43 UFC cards a year, baby. I think they're going to bring the Ultimate Fighter to them as well. I think they're going to I'm hoping they put their library on there, which will allow us to do some really good fucking research for these fights too. We'll be able to go back, look at past fights, or sometimes you just want
to be able to
pop a beer and watch an old school banger. You know what I mean?
That's very true.
Sometimes you just gotta do that. Sometimes you gotta see Robbie Lawler versus Nick Diaz back in the day, the best 2 rounds you ever see in MMA combat, right? Sometimes you just gotta do that.
Sometimes you do.
Right? So I'm hoping that they get all the old coverage as well. They did note that 4 big events a year was going to be on CBS. That's network television. Network television is dead, but for sports, it does still bring in numbers. People are still watching the NFL on NBC, Josh. That's just a fact. So I can't wait to see what that looks like, if there be any additional costs. They did say they are playing, Dana White said he's playing around with the idea of having a one-off pay-per-view event, maybe once a year, that still charges pay-per-view. But that's one. It is what it is. And let's be honest, Josh, I'm going to pirate that shit anyway. You know what I mean? Like, let's just be real.
It would have to be like a huge card.
Like
literally like a card like that's just so unbelievable if majority of the product is going to be on Paramount.
Yeah.
So it's just like, all right, well, I'll do that. Wouldn't it kind of discount the content that's on Paramount? I feel like it would. Because then all the events that are hosted to Paramount, it'll be like, well, it's not like this.
Yeah.
It's not like this.
Yeah.
And you'll do that every year.
That's very fair, which is why I think Dana White's being so vague. I think if he was confident that people wanted that, then he would just come out and say it, right? It's more money for us once a year to get $80 from you. He would just say it. But what I think he's doing, he's floating it so that, say he has a Conor McGregor and John Jones, not against each other, obviously, but headlining a card, maybe that's when he goes ahead and have that one-off event.
Also,
alien ship. I'm not sure what alien ship means, but thank you for commenting. Go ahead, Josh.
Funny thing is, too, right? You got to look at the business side of it. It's kind of like, UFC's taking that upfront money. Hey, you guaranteed this, and this a year. So I wonder what Paramount's projections are of revenue on making this deal.
Yeah.
So and it also has me wondering, like, what was the UFC's take home on these pay-per-view events that they've thrown the last 7 years in order to command this deal? And why would Paramount think that it was feasible to do?
So I will tell you this, when it comes to the pay-per-view numbers, what we do know about that, because they stopped sharing the old school numbers that we used to get, right? It used to be a week or two after we get a preliminary number, and then then like a week after that, maybe a month after that, we get the real numbers of how many people worldwide brought pay-per-views. Usually 90% comes from the US anyway, because they have different broadcasting deals overseas. But Josh, what they were doing is letting us know that ESPN was paying a flat fee of what UFC would make for 400 to 450,000 buys. So every pay-per-view, UFC was getting paid as if it was the old school 450,000. Anything on top of that, ESPN pocketed. What we don't know, without any doubts, is how much exactly ESPN was profiting off that, right? Because we got to imagine ESPN knew that this deal was there, right? They had to have known that there's a $1.1 billion per year offer from Paramount, and they didn't counter. Because you have to imagine, if they countered, an ESPN, who's already the leading sports broadcaster, even bigger now with that NFL deal that we mentioned yesterday.
Huge
huge. And they already have the NBA, they have PFL, so they are in MMA. They've had UFC. I only have ESPN Plus because of UFC. So they had to know that it's an important part of the brand, but they did not make a counter offer that I'm aware of, at least not one, to change the mind of Dana White.
Hopefully, we're not seeing with the ESPN acquisition of the NFL license. Hopefully, we're not seeing a return of the woke stuff returning back to the NFL and the NBA because ESPN is owned by Disney, so
They are.
You know how that goes.
Well, I'll tell you this: I don't think it matters what the broadcaster is. I think the players are going to do whatever the fuck they want, regardless of what their bosses have to say. I really think they proved that, Josh.
Still our rise.
Hey, real quick, also, Josh, your thoughts on if you think this will at all, which my answer is no, at all affect the split of revenue to the fighters?
No.
Thank you for that, Josh. Also, now, a thought I was having is if they were going to increase the number, decrease the number, what that's going to look like. They said the full slate is going to be on Paramount, but Dana White, he can always change his mind about something whenever the fuck he wants. We hope it's going to be greener pastures on this side of the streaming platform. I will say, Paramount, when you said what Paramount thinks their projections are going to be, if I'm them, I have to imagine that whatever UFC was doing, say they were doing per fight somewhere around 300 to 400,000 people watching on ESPN platform, right? I have to imagine a large percentage of those people ending their ESPN subscription and simply now paying for Paramount. Because that is exactly what I'm going to do, Josh. There's now, once this goes through, there's zero reason for me to have ESPN Plus. And don't forget, ESPN Plus didn't even give you access to watch True ESPN or ESPN2. Some events you can still watch on ESPN Plus, but it didn't give you access to just turn on Sports Center, right? To turn on First Take, which I thought was a huge mistake. I couldn't do anything about it because I still wanted UFC, so they had me no matter what. But people like me, I'm going. There's no reason after 2026 for me to have ESPN. I'm right to Paramount. Take my money.
I didn't even know that. Like that service wasn't, that premium service didn't encompass all the other things underneath.
Made no sense.
It's literally just for ESPN Plus.
Not only that, when it came out,
it's like having a PS5 and you can't play none of the other games.
Josh, and when it came out, remember, it was $4.99, $5.99. And they said, hey, look at this. It's so cheap. You're going to be able to watch UFC. We were all excited, Josh. We couldn't wait. And then they said, yeah, but we're still going to charge you for pay-per-view. We said, okay, I guess it is what it is. And then you can't buy the pay-per-view unless you're also ESPN Plus. Okay, I guess it is what it is, right? On top of that, then, Josh, they have now raised it. They're now raising it to $20 a month. Yes, please.
That is kind of wild. Like, honestly, I really don't like these deals. I'm going to be honest. It used to be way easier to watch sports for like the regular person.
Yeah.
Now, if you're into, basketball, football, boxing, UFC, bro, you're paying an arm and a leg a month, bro.
I think the latest article I saw on that, Josh, that if you're a true sports fan, right?
Yeah.
You don't want to miss any NBA. You don't want to miss any NFL, and you want to watch the pay-per-views for big boxing, big UFC, right? We're talking about $250 a month.
Bro, like I said,
that's some people's car payments.
The old school was way better, bro.
Yeah.
The like when we were growing up, it was just way better. Like you could just be on cable.
Yep.
And you could catch all of these shits. Like you could
90% of everything.
Primetime games. Even these one-off games. It'd be like the Knicks versus the Supersonics. You're right. Like, oh, that game's just on.
And yeah, boxing, I guess I'll watch it.
On. Like boxing used to come on. Well, not during our time, before that. Because during our times when the pay-per-view format was kind of flourishing, a little before us when we were kids. Yeah. But before the Muhammad Ali days, cable.
Yeah.
Yo, the fight with him and George Foreman, cable, bro.
How crazy is that? How crazy is that? Truth Network says thoughts on the potential aliens. Not sure what you're referring to, unless you're talking about
the media.
That one celestial body that's coming from the blind side of the sun. Looks like it's sneaking up on us at the perfect time.
Can't we talk about aliens just regardless?
Hey.
Let's talk about them, right?
Hey. Go for
real
it, Josh.
quick.
Go for
I
it, Josh.
see a lot of things. I've done a lot of research on this UFO thing.
Okay.
Right? But I've seen a lot of pilot testimony about them seeing some shit in the air. The Tic Tac thing. Then it was the other thing. First of all, the Tic Tac one. The way it was just in and out of water, over here, over there, not there, whatever, right?
Yeah.
Now, Is it aliens? Probably not. It's probably not aliens. I'm just saying, like, if it is aliens,
Mhm.
for whatever reason they're listening to us.
Yeah.
Because like they're not making it obvious, right? And I feel like they will make it obvious,
Mhm.
especially if they're any bit similar to us.
Yeah.
Because we make ourselves obvious in any other animal kingdom.
Okay.
When the lions are playing over there,
Yeah.
we don't sneak up where they don't see us. We make sure they see us.
Right.
What's we here?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And it's some people who would go join the pride.
Mm.
We've seen this.
We've seen that.
We've seen this.
We've seen that.
With even monkeys too.
Yeah.
So I don't know. The UFO thing, I mean, I feel like we just need a bigger story to come out that'll get a lot of people in trouble. I thought they were going to reveal stuff due to covering up this Jeffrey Epstein thing. Like, you know what? Here's a distraction. But they ain't do that.
Yeah.
They ain't do that.
You know what, Josh?
So I'm waiting.
It's funny you say that, right? Because I used to think the same thing, right? Like, oh, it'll just take the biggest, a story big enough, right, to get to the masses. Because you hear, oh, this pilot says this, they say they're crazy, but then stuff gets declassified, Josh.
That's true.
Stuff from the CIA gets declassified. And it doesn't show that the pilots were just lying, doesn't show that they made it up. Yeah, okay. It shows that they were telling the truth, and there's proof to back it up. And you know what people, the citizens of Earth, do about that, Josh?
Right.
They keep on keeping on. We're unshakable at this point, Josh.
Right.
Millennials, which is us, our generation, we're numb, bro.
We trying to see the aliens.
We're numb.
Where the aliens
like,
at, bro?
Unless the aliens come down, dap us up, right? Buy us a beer, preferably an IPA. We're not trying to hear
100%.
it. And when they do, someone with purple hair from a liberal arts college,
right,
is gonna ask them what a woman is.
That's what they're gonna do,
and
bro.
if they have the wrong answer,
making
Josh,
us look bad, bro.
They're getting canceled.
They don't make us look bad.
They're getting canceled, Josh.
100%. They don't just make us look bad to the our new friends, right? But this is crazy, right? The pilot testimony leads me to believe that this is just some technology we never seen before, right?
Possible.
That's for sure, right? The one I saw, they saw it for a pretty good amount of time, right?
Mm-hmm.
They were chasing it. Dudes was chasing it, right?
Mm-hmm.
He like, oh, look at this. This makes me believe that this is human technology, and they were just messing around with these pilots.
Truth Network says if I still got to go to work tomorrow, I don't care. See, that's true. That's where we're at. That's true. Where we're at, guys.
Come on, bro. We need an alien day.
We've now gone into the woods, so I'm going to try our best to beam us the hell out of it. Did you? I feel like I'm on a little bit today, Josh.
Yeah, bro. They make a holiday for everything else.
Beam me up.
Why not?
Anyway. Let's go.
A day where we all looking for them.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of, thank you, Josh. We're going to segue right into it. You just said, you thought they were those a distraction for the Epstein files.
No.
Not only have they not, but they also have not released the goddamn Epstein files like we've been following for months now. You know why, Josh? Because we're
journalists.
Goddamn journalists. Like, come on.
It makes sense.
And Josh, as of yesterday, guess what? Judge rejected once again. Another judge rejects the release of the grand jury documents. We don't care if it's overly redacted. We don't care if we don't learn any victims' names. I don't want to know any of the victims' names. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? Nobody cares about that. You know what we want? To know who this person, being Epstein, being Maxwell, was servicing. Because they're being accused, she was found guilty of providing underage Yamins 2 PDFs. Who were the PDFs? I haven't seen one goddamn PDF. Adobe not loading. You understand what I'm saying? What program am I supposed to use to open it, Josh?
It's saying it like, oh, download the new version. It's like, bruh, what? Like
the new version of what?
Of what?
Of what?
Of what?
Because everybody on that list on both sides, Republicans and Dems, mutually assured destruction. That's why we don't have those.
What's her name? What's her name again?
Ghislaine Maxwell. Gillian Maxwell.
She probably was in there twerking.
Oh, come on now.
100%.
Come on now. She can drop that thing on it.
Keep that thing up, bro. Make it roll.
Like, if she cool with Trump, he was.
Yeah, he's grabbing her by the.
All right. Speaking of Trump, let's just go right into politics, right? We're having fun today, Josh. We're having a good time. All right, it's a great day. Beautiful people. Appreciate y'all. Appreciate the likes. Appreciate the comments. Of course, do not forget to follow and check out all our great goddamn clips. This is Lunch Break News. This is them Lunch Break Boys. We're going to keep it going. So, Josh, we talked about earlier before the cameras went on behind the scenes. You know what I mean? We're going to break the fourth wall and show you how we make the sausage, as they say. No, I got the colloquialisms on today.
You're
on today. So, I will say, a little crazy, a little understandable at the same time, right? The Online Safety Act was passed in the UK just last month, yes, July 2025, a piece of parliament that was billed as protection of minors for adult content. But it has a lot of the content creators, a lot of the websites scared out of their goddamn minds. What is a multi-billion, multi-million dollar company going to do when you tell them that, yeah, you might get a small fine, or you might get a hefty fine, or you might get a hefty fine and criminal charges if you violate this decree? What are you going to do, Josh? Because if I'm the goddamn company, you know what I do? I put age verification on everything that's not Cat in the Hat.
Everything.
Because you don't want one person to try to prove in court that something's adult content that no one else thinks so, but then a judge awards them that it was.
First of all, I 100% agree with this.
Go
I feel like kids now, because of the internet, see way too much shit.
Okay.
Just way too many things, bro. Like, and it gives kids this false sense of like understanding of the world.
That's fair.
You ever talk to a 17-year-old kid today? It's like, bro, why am I even talking to you? You think you know everything?
Yeah.
You don't know shit.
Yeah.
And bro, I know they say that that's how all 17-year-olds were, but no, bro, not like this, bro. This is a whole nother level. They think because they know something, like they can Google it and it says blah, 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 that they know the application, that they know the context, that they know why this is even true.
Yeah.
No, they don't know anything about anything, but they think they know everything about everything.
Tell me how you really feel, Josh.
It's just kind of crazy. Plus, to me, these kids are growing up way too fast, bro. Way too fast. And you can see it altering the culture, even amongst their families. The mothers, the fathers, they don't even see how fast that their kid is growing up mentally. Like, bro, you're growing up, but well, I wouldn't even say growing up, what they're exposed to.
Yeah, there you go.
Grown up things.
There you go, yeah.
Where it gives them the false notion that they are grown and that they know better than people who have been on this earth double, triple the time they've been. It doesn't make any sense, but I like this. The only thing I don't like is the steps that it puts on the company. It's like, oh, well, why do I have to incur all these costs just for censorship when these parents should be doing their job?
I didn't even think about the cost.
To me, it seems though like the censorship and you caring about what children see on an adult content level, that should be the responsibility of the parents. Because that's their children. No one asked them to have them.
So Josh, thank you for saying that, because that is exactly where I'm at. Now, what you guys are seeing right here, this is the argument for and against net neutrality. Stuttered on that a little bit. Net neutrality that's been going on since the fucking internet came into existence, right?
Right.
Josh made a bunch of good points on why the censorship is understandable. I am going to rebuttal simply by 3 letters, Josh. That's F, that's D, that's K. That's right. Fuck them kids, Josh. Fuck them kids. I have 0, you have 8, not Josh. The hypothetical you. Yeah. The ones that are like, oh, you got to protect the babies. Fuck your kids. Fuck your babies. This is my internet. This is Donald Trump's internet. And I don't want to put my ID online to go look up politics, to change my skin on Minecraft, okay, to go ahead and get into some banking institutions. Josh, it's so I understand the morality around it, right? And I also respect the fact that other people with different morals doesn't make them right or wrong, right? Doesn't make me incorrect or correct. But my morality is and always will be most likely fuck them kids, right? I want my information protected. So here's what I'm afraid of, Josh, right?
Right.
I'm afraid that they are going to start profiting off the collection of our ID data, right? Because your ID does have more data than what you usually put into a website, right? Because if you go ahead and look up an article on Huffington Post, right, or Fox News right now, the only thing you're going to be sharing is your IP address. You'll download some cookies to get into the website, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I'm talking about in the U.S., right? They're not going to know your name. They're not going to know your age. They're not going to know where you live. That data is profitable. We've seen it. There are literally brands. Go ahead and watch you some Shark Tank. There's brands that create a product or a website or some type of social media with no purpose of growing it to be the next Facebook or the next Amazon or anything like that. They do it to collect data, right? There's even a website that allowed you to create certain messages or whatever for your pet that died or something like that. But they collected how they died, all this other stuff, the age, the breed, and then they sold that company to PetSmart, and they made millions on millions of dollars. They gather information simply to sell it. Let's use a recent example, Josh. And some of you motherfuckers might not know about this. Buckle up real quick, Josh. 23andMe testified in front of Congress. Why? Why? Because they were being questioned on them promising people that they would never sell their data. Now they are up for purchase, and all your data will be sold along with it. They tried to argue, but we allow you a function to delete your data. Congress didn't let them off the hook. They opened up their privacy agreement that explicitly said, even if you delete your data, we still hold on to it. They got your DNA, they got your age, they got your name, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, and they're selling it to somebody for the monies, Josh. So that's why I'm uncomfortable with starting this, because I can understand the morality and the why, right? But then I have to weigh that against my information staying private and me over them kids every day of the week. But I do understand the argument against it.
Right.
Now, it looks like Canada might, I'm sorry, Josh, do you have anything on that?
They might do it as well.
So Canada might do it as well. And there's also US
Bro, these are
states.
these are two places that are like the battleground for these sorts of laws being passed. A whole bunch of censorship. Remember, Canada was the Canada was like the epicenter of the pronoun game. They were going to make that a law. That's what got Jordan Peterson his fame. When he argued against that, a student trying to force him to call him her, and he's like, "Sir, I'm not going to do that." And I'm like, "Right, he's wilding, right?" Boom. And then I'm like, "Yo, because Jordan Peterson not that big," and I'm like, "Yo, is he talking in like a higher voice?" And then when George Peterson said no, did he go like, "Oh no, you better," like, that's kind of wild. I'd have been like, "Bro, you got to leave my class. You have to leave my class, bro. This is the class is called realism." Like what? Like what?
Real quick, Josh.
Yeah.
There's also some states that are looking to do the same or have already done the same. Real quick, I'm going to run through it. Florida, they ban social media for people under 14. Texas is preparing a law where you have to prove that you are over 18 to be on social media. Arkansas passed the Social Media Safety Act. Utah and Louisiana is doing the same. And I'm wondering if the companies are going to support it. And if the companies start supporting it, Josh, then I'm going to be even more confident that they are just interested in collecting more data so that they can sell the data off. There's 24 states right now requiring age verification for adult content. That means if you want to get into the hub, you got to load that idea.
This is the thing, though, right? So do I think could the states benefit?
Truth Network said you are a sir.
You are a sir.
Control.
100%. But I do think the positives outweigh the pros outweigh the cons.
Okay.
Immensely, right?
Okay.
For instance, I like the age restrictions on social media in general. You got to figure, like, the kids, if they
like that more.
Yeah, if they are fishing, it's kind of the only thing that they're fishing on in the hub, and there are already major restrictions on those type of sites.
Sure.
But to me, the social media restriction, you have to be a certain age. Man, I hope this is a national thing.
That one
becomes a national thing, because the implications that social media has on the young brain is just, especially with women. If you see the studies on adolescent women and adolescent girls and just women in general, I'm talking grown women.
Yeah.
The effect that it has on their mood, depression, how they think about themselves, their self-esteem, their ambition, all type of things. Like, it's just so much of has negative consequences throughout the world.
Yeah.
Plus the comparative nature of certain individuals, where they'll think so much less of their life, of their partner, of their family, of their income, of literally every aspect of life. The social media has had big negative effects on the impressionable portions of our society.
Real quick, Josh, 7. I love that number, my favorite number. I just came in. What's happening? What's the topic? The topic, my friend, is the censorship going on in UK, going to follow in Canada, and already being done in the US as it pertains to adult content, the concerns, the benefits, the pros, etc. Josh, I've already told people about the war on tariffs.
Right.
We've been covering and trademarked about the great gerrymandering war of 2025. I'm going to deem this one, Josh, because we're going to keep following it, right? Because states are going to keep this up. Other countries are going to follow suit. We're going to call this WWW, Josh.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? World War Web. Okay? It's 3 W's. It's not WW3, but it is trip dubs. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So it's
Triple
close
dub.
enough. We're going to go with that. World War Web. It's a war on the goddamn internet. And we're going to see, because somebody's going to win, Josh.
Yeah.
Someone's going to lose. And I
Right.
hope we make out for the better for it. Now, off to the last topic again. Guys, please make sure you like. Please make sure you follow. We are 2 9-to-5ers here giving you the goddamn news during our lunch break, baby. And you're welcome, Seven. Thank you as well. So for the last, we're going to call this one, Josh. I'm going to call this one, Josh, the great occupation. Yes, the feds are taking over DC. It's not a rumor. It's not an idea. It's happening. We heard about the game plan yesterday. We went over it in magnificent detail, Josh, on Friday and Monday because we're fucking journalists.
We are.
Just wanted to put that out there.
Precisely.
But, guys, so I've been seeing a lot of back and forth. We are going to do our best on this, right? Because if you want partisan arguments, there's so many content creators on that, on the red, on the blue, on the right, on the left, the moderates, the centerists, et cetera, right? You guys can find partisan politics anywhere. Go to Fox, go to HuffPost, go to MSNBC, go to CNN, Al Jazeera, et cetera. You're not going to find that shit here, right? We're going to try to give you guys the facts. We will give our opinions, but again, we are non-partisan over here. So I saw a lot of people concentrating on trying to fact check Trump because that's what partisan news does with any sitting president, right? If Donald Trump is in presidency, best believe CNN is going to fact check everything he's saying live. If Biden or Kamala or whoever on the blue side is in the presidency, guarantee Fox News is on that ass. You understand what I'm saying to you? So they try to fact check like, oh, we're saying crime's going up, but it's actually going down. We don't have enough sample size is the actual answer. Neither side can really claim either one because yes, is crime technically down? Sure. But one is only fucking August and two, that's 1 year. This has been a problem going on in DC for several decades. So we're not going to know that it's getting better on either side, guys, in a little bit more than half a year. Just hold your horses. Let's see what the fuck works, right? Now we also saw Trump mentioning the appointing of 10 judges. What he's saying is that there's openings for judges, and he wants to put the people that support him and are willing to go along with his strategy into those positions. Now, you're going to say that's good or bad depending on which fucking side you're on. That's just it. You guys already know my side. If you were here yesterday, I'm not a fan of this shit. You already know Josh's side. He understands why they're fucking doing it because something needs to be fucking done. Of course, that's an overgeneralization on both our points because we have a lot of overlap and we agree on most of it. And that's that DC has been down bad for a while now and something needs to better it, right? So what worries me, though, is that I mentioned the other day is the labeling of kids. And I saw Fox. We called this shit on Friday, Josh. We mentioned even before Donald Trump had his press conference, right, when this was just an idea, we mentioned that there was a possibility that we hoped they wouldn't start the rhetoric a la the 90s super predators. If you guys forget, that's when Biden, that's when the Clintons, that when everyone who was anyone was saying crime is so bad, the drugs are so bad, these guys are super predators, these kids are super predators, they can't be redeemed. We got the 3-strike rule, we got the cash bail requirements, we got the minimum sentencing, etc. Right? And what happened now? Fox is making headlines, delinquents and criminals. Right? We're hearing about how much crimes we can start including into having kids charged as adults. They're saying if it's an adult crime, then it should be an adult sentencing. Right? That shit always going to worry me because it might work out for the very best, right? And only the murderers and only the SAers and only the people that are assaulting old ladies are going to be held to these standards. But I'm scared that that's not going to stop there. Again, I'm going to try not to speculate and fearmonger. We're going to wait. We're going to see. But as always, I'm going to preach. Keep an eye on this shit and be concerned on one way or the other anytime any government body tells you anything, even if you love it. Just like a la when Joe Biden said he was going to forgive all our student debt. Remember that? I love the shit out of that, Josh.
Great, bro.
It swapped the midterms into the favor of the Democrats, only to find out that what he was promising was illegal and impossible, and he probably fucking knew that to begin with, right? So it doesn't matter what side you're on, guys. Be skeptical of your government because that's how you keep your nation for the citizens, baby. My concern is, well, you start making larger sentences, you start locking more people up. Where are you going to put them, Josh? In prison, right?
Yeah.
We already have been talking about Queens, New York, watching Knick Knack. Shout out to Queens, New
Shout
York.
out to Queens.
Appreciate you and everybody else watching along. So you're going to put them in prison, right, Josh? Have we not been hearing about overcrowding of prisons since fucking 2020?
We have.
Since 2020, overcrowding of prisons. So you're sending the National Guard to lock all these people up for longer. Where are they going to be? My concern again, are they just going to start contracting to Congressmen's friends that have money in for-profit prison systems and build more prisons? Is that going to solve it? Are we going to use federal funds on a city that needs more federal funding to start building more fucking prisons? Are we going to start sending them to federal prison? And then do we need more of those? So that is something of concern. Other countries, okay, no, Josh, before I go to my next point on that, anything, because I've been talking my ass off. Go for it.
Oh, that's good. Now you were making really great points. I mean, the DC takeover.
The Great Occupation. Yeah.
Just how they're going to go about it and the implications on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they're saying boots on the ground. I do think it's a good thing that something's happening.
Fair.
Now the results could sway.
Sure.
Like it could swing one way or swing the other way. But like I said yesterday, I do believe that since this is happening regardless, that once something's set in stone and it's happening regardless, there's no debate about it. You need to maneuver around this.
Yes.
You can't just sit there and just let things happen and not take responsibility of yourself or your community and just allow certain things to just take place. Like I always gave the analogy, especially if these communities that they are potentially going to invade, right? Oh, the DC, then they talked about a whole bunch of other major cities. It's like, okay, if you're a boxer, right? Or you're into combat sports, you don't just enter the ring and your defense is complaining about your opponent hitting you.
Right.
You don't. You have to bob and weave and you have to throw your own punches.
You know, you're in the fight.
Something called defense and it's another thing called offense.
Yep.
So what you need to do, if the feds are saying that we're doing this, there's nothing you can do.
Yeah.
You need to maneuver. You need to be like water.
I love that.
Those
Josh.
community leaders that preach for 30 years that this and this needs to happen. This is your opportunity. Why? Because things will be changing significantly. And when and that's the only way that a culture changes. When there's something significant going to happen or happening right now, you gear up. And that gear up sometimes takes the culture to shift. That's the thing that I hope is going to happen amongst inner cities across America once this rolls down from DC to Philly to Baltimore. Because it will.
Yeah.
And I hope the second city is Baltimore. I hope the third is East St. Louis. And if you've ever been to either one of those cities,
shout out to y'all.
You'll be like, oh yeah, I know where the UFOs are. I know where they at. Baltimore. St. Louis. Because bro, they're not operating like regular folk. They're just not, bro. They're not.
And I need you guys to listen. What that man just said has nothing to do with what he agrees with or what he doesn't agree with. What he said plainly is if X is happening, your plan needs to be in reaction to X to make X as best as you can work for you. What we need is unity. What we need to do is build something together to figure out a goddamn plan, because we appreciate you guys being here and hearing us talk about it, but talking ain't going to stop what's going on, or it's not going to ramp it up. It's going to be what it's going to be. So make a plan accordingly. That rhymed a little bit too. Bars today, Josh. Come on.
So I have a little additional to add, right?
Yeah.
When you're listening to or you're following politics and rule changes, law changes that take place federally or even in your local government.
Yep.
If you voted one way, but it goes another.
Yeah.
If you voted one way and it goes your way.
Yeah.
If you voted for one administration or the other, right?
Yeah.
One thing you need to do is to take your emotions out of it.
Sure.
Why? Because your emotions can freeze you. It can freeze your conscious mind into thinking, how can I take advantage?
Yeah.
How can my people benefit off of this? How can we do whatever we need to do and to position ourselves to gain leverage in a situation for things that we cannot change?
Yeah.
The only thing you can do is to go on social media and say X, Y, and Z, or to vent to your friends about how you don't like something, right?
Yep.
But guess what? That something is not changing for a particular amount of time. But what you need to do is pay attention to see how you can benefit to help your family. At the
Preach.
end of the day, that's what matters. You and your family. Your family's well-being and your self-well-being. Can you go to the grocery store and buy things?
Mm.
Are you safe?
Yeah.
Literally, like, is the trajectory of your family going up or down?
Yeah.
Yes, in politics and decisions that are made and the federal and the local level, that surely affects these things. But guess what you need to do? If you stand pat and cry, you're always going to be affected negatively.
Josh,
Always.
cook, my friend. Now, some things that we're going to talk about probably tomorrow, because this is lunch break news. The lunch break is coming to the end, but I would like to discuss some differences on how other countries prioritize rehabilitation and reintegration over punishment and deterring through force, right? Because America is doing the latter. Other countries like Norway are doing the former. One country has a 20% recidivism rate. We have 80. Okay, so I'm just saying we might want to learn some things with the people that seem to be doing it right. Also, some concerns, is the National Guard going to be doubling up as ICE, right? I say that because Trump did mention illegal immigrants in the names of criminals, right? And I just hope it doesn't turn into ICE 2.0, right? Also, he mentioned restarting cash bails, garbage. Reinforcing minimum sentencing anywhere where it's abolished, absolute garbage. Research already proves that this shit doesn't work. I understand the initial reaction of people. People do bad things, so punish them harshly. I get that. And a lot of people do deserve that. Making it a minimum requirement is dangerous because not everybody is going to fit that bill for every single crime. Everyone has a story and should be tried as an individual. That's my belief as an American citizen in the best goddamn country on the planet.
I believe that as well.
Now, what I also think that they should be putting some money towards is holding these companies more responsible. If you've been following us for the months that we've been journalists, yes, I said months. Can you believe it? We've been here forever, goddammit.
Wait, you mean like the companies that own the prisons?
Exactly like those.
Okay.
Yeah. Or the companies that, or the banks that were fined and or lost lawsuits for embezzling or hiding or condoning what Epstein was doing, and yet none of them were ever criminally charged. Companies like that. Or companies like 23andMe, who said that your DNA wouldn't be sold, but is explicitly being sold. Or like State Farm. You might not have heard this one, Josh.
No,
did y'all know State Farm had a RICO case against them?
I did not.
Because I fucking did not. They had a RICO case for bribery. Yes, it was said that they had a $1.1 billion lawsuit on the table, right? Because they were using shifty practices to not pay out on claims that they should have paid on, Josh.
Dirty. Probably a bunch of West Coast claims.
$1.1 billion. Guess what they did? They sent it to the judge who was going to rule on it. They sent this motherfucker a bunch of money into his coffers, Josh. Now, they were able to prove that.
And he snitched.
They were able to prove that. And yet and still, they wound up settling, Josh, for $250 million. That means they paid $250 million and they profited over $750 million for tricking their goddamn customers out of their money.
Yo,
let's hold these motherfuckers accountable. We're talking about going into the DC. Let's go to fucking Silicon Valley.
Let's go to Silicon Valley. You know what's so funny too? It's crazy how that the states, counties, and cities that these prisons are in.
Yeah.
Like, what are the requirements for them to have them there? Is it like, okay,
they just say like they shopping at Walmart. That's a fact.
Yo, facts, bro.
Go ahead, Josh. I didn't mean to interrupt. I just
look at that. Like, now it's just kind of weird. It's like, why wouldn't they have certain requirements in regards to rehabilitation and looking at the data on recidivism rates and like, is there any data of how many of these guys get jobs? How many of these guys what are the programs of graduation rates that are in the prison facilities? The licenses and certifications that are received. Like, is there anything there? Is there any programs where there's a journey that you can complete in order for you to obtain a job? Like,
a goddamn game plan?
Literally,
a goddamn roadmap.
You can work here.
Yeah.
You go to this prison, you do X, Y, and Z, you can do this. Like, is there a punishment for being an inmate and you're not participating in any of these programs or degree programs, certification? Is there any penalty? Like, why wouldn't it be a hard penalty on that, where you can actually increase your time, or you have to max out now,
Yeah.
because you're not participating in any of these programs that were increase the likelihood that you'll be a productive member of society once you return, which I don't understand this. Now, the State Farm thing and a company-wide thing,
Mhm.
they treat state farms, these corporations, LLC, sole proprietorships, as people.
Yeah.
So
They're supposed to.
I understand. So lawfully, I kind of get where it's like you're not going at the individuals who might have committed these atrocities,
Sure.
that financial atrocities that help individuals do crazy shit physically,
Yeah,
right?
sure.
But for me, it's just like, oh, I know for sure, like the Epstein with the bank thing, that's what they sold him, and anonymity. Yo, no one's gonna know. Blah blah blah. They don't care. They don't even give a shit what he was doing. It's just like our service is secrecy. So I do understand that when it comes, because we're business guys.
Sure.
So I do understand that as being your product.
Yeah.
And pretty sure they were pretty good at it until it came to the feds.
Right.
But State Farm, come on, they need to get these hands.
Yeah. Josh, we're going to leave it at that. This has been another day of Lunch Break News. Dumb Lunch Break Boys, the one, the only, the Pharaoh Live. That's Josh back there getting down. We got over 10K likes this time. We appreciate you guys. Don't forget to subscribe, follow. We're here for every damn lunch break that we get a fucking lunch break. Talk to our boss about it.